Animal control, animal control. I don't pack a gun, but I'm armed with a pole to lasso loose dogs that all you people let go. 'Cause I'm your Silver City ACO. I'm your Silver City ACO.
Victoria, Sherwood, and Itzy.
Merry Christmas.
It's the Christmas show at the High Desert Humane Society. We're so excited to be here. We're in front of our tree. We're in front of our goodies that people have brought us. There's a ton of stuff over here, and it's only the first week of December.
Wow.
So,
a jump on the Christmas.
well, that's what we like. I mean,
What do you think, Itzy, our little elf of the day?
she looks so cute. She's all dressed up, and everybody's in the holiday mood. Oh, Itzy, your dad is so weird. Oh, somebody's knocking at the door.
Ho, ho, ho!
Oh my gosh!
Merry Christmas!
Oh my gosh! It's Santa!
It's Santa
Oh,
Claus!
come on in!
I'm coming out here to the High Desert Humane Society early to make sure these good little dogs and kitties and animals get their treats.
The girls and boys of the dog and cat world.
The boys and girls.
Oh, how sweet!
What do you think of that, Itzy, huh? Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, look at, and Santa has brought this in. A little earlier we actually set this up because it's full, and I wanted everybody to see what's in here. Just a sampling of things that he brought early for dogs,
Dog chew toys, dog play toys.
cats.
Cat, that's right, you're the cat lady.
Since I'm the cat lady, thank you for bringing cat toys
Yeah,
too.
right. Cats are kind of snooty anyway.
That was a good idea for a small dog. We've got more cat toys. There's a blanket over here, a soft, easily washable blanket. And just things that you did really well.
Well,
Thank you,
try to
Santa. Thank
bring
you.
the things that are good little cats and dogs and people, little boys and girls of the Humane Society will have fun with.
I know, and it's always so fun when we get to pass that stuff out. So, you know, you usually do drop things off here, but we don't always see you.
Well, sometimes my thing is to come when you don't see me.
I know. So we really feel fortunate
Well, at
because
night, we don't wait up too much.
I haven't seen
We have to go to bed
Santa.
early, folks.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen
I
Santa.
don't try milk and cookies, you never know.
Maybe, yeah. We usually put the carrots out, but you know, for the reindeer.
All for the reindeer, yes, they love carrots.
But we didn't. We don't always remember the cookies. I think Sherwood eats the cookies in his house.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, our pets are a part of our family too, so we have to take good care
I
of them.
know, and that is the thing that I want everybody to know. It's Christmas for the animals too.
Absolutely. They enjoy the time. It's exciting for them too.
Hey, buddy, come on in.
Getting that new chew toy or something to tear apart is
Come
great.
on in, buddy.
It's Buddy.
Hi, Santa.
It's Buddy, the
Doing good. Yourself?
county animal control officer.
Merry
Okay.
Christmas.
Have you been weed eating, buddy?
You brought in a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an early Christmas.
That must
There
be
you
for
go.
Johnny.
I don't know what Buddy's been doing. Oh, Scott, do you have a puppy for us?
I do.
Oh.
Oh, look at this.
Who's
Is
this?
this a Christmas puppy?
That's Chubby.
Chubby.
Chubby guy too.
Chubby's a
He probably
little,
grew up to be a big dog too.
Oh,
what do you think he is?
Rottweiler, Heeler, and Pitbull.
Wow.
Wow, that's a combination.
Yeah. I can't
Oh.
even tag him with a nickname.
You know, this is a good chance for us to talk to Santa and the rest of the world about puppies and kittens and dogs and cats being given as gifts at Christmas time. What do you think about that, Sherwood?
Well, I would like if the parents would hold off at Christmas time because there's so much excitement going on at that time of the year, and to deal with a new cat or a new dog is a lot of stress on the dog or cat's life.
Yes.
And let alone to keep track of them, you know, at that time of year when there's so much going on. You know, it could be a
Santa
traumatic
doesn't
time.
bring pets on his Christmas presents because that's a family decision, and they have to pick out the right
Yep.
pet they're going to love, and the pet will love them. So.
Right, and
Good.
they need the time, the special time to stay with that pet, especially a new pet. And again, dogs puppies and kittens, really need a lot of attention
They
when
do.
you first bring them home. And so, I'm glad that Santa doesn't bring them for Christmas presents. That's another time present.
Right.
You really-
Well, it's important to pick your animals out and make sure that they get you the right animals for you, and that they're to be used to you.
The right animal at the right time, which would not be the holidays.
Make a joy for the family.
Yeah, and then, again, I can talk more about the dog issues. It's, you're opening presents and you've got paper all over the place, the dogs will start eating anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then you're tempted to give them little treats from all the trees and stuff. Not good for your pets.
little
So, like I say, it's a tough time, again, to bring a new pet into the household.
It is, and it's funny because people will come in every year. I want the smallest kitten you have, and I'm going to give it to my kids for Christmas. And I always tell them, please don't do that.
Yeah, there's enough going on.
Yeah, don't do that. It's not a good idea.
Or tell them, you'll give them a picture of it and take it after Christmas.
Or that you're going to take a trip to the Humane Society and go pick out
That's
the
right.
appropriate animal, and one that they could love and they will love them.
That's
Well, I got a question for Sandy. Did you give the reindeers anything special for Christmas this year?
I give them the next day off.
Well, that's always appropriate.
That's a pretty good
They're
deal.
probably really tuckered
They're
out.
all wore out by the next
And
day.
I bet they're resting today too because it is before Christmas.
Right. Well, they're resting up. They'll actually rest up most of the year until Christmas.
And they-
Not like in Olympic training where they get ready to pull the
Yeah,
big
well.
old sleigh.
I bet they are, and they're probably eating special food.
Now, Mrs. Claus has all kinds of treats for them. So.
Oh, someday we'd like to meet
I
Mrs.
bet you
Claus.
could probably be Mrs. Claus.
And what does that mean? What does that mean?
I mean, you'd make a nice Mrs.
You're
Claus.
in trouble.
Well, there's nothing wrong to be a nice Mrs. Claus.
Well, but there is already a Mrs.
There's
Claus.
already one.
I don't like your inference
But you would be
because he has a wife.
Mrs. Claus-like, even.
Maybe
Well-
you could be an elf. You look kind of elfy
I
today.
thought you could be an elf. As a matter
Actually, I
of,
think I have a couple that look pretty close to like you.
yeah.
Even the glasses.
People all suggested that you be an elf for this show.
Really?
Yes, and I told them no, but maybe you'd wear your lighted up reindeer antlers. You didn't wear those this year.
No.
Those are always the.
He did wear them once.
Well, okay. Well, that's the hit of the party when they do
Well,
that. Yeah.
but you're here, so you're the hit of the party. So, well, do you have other pets up there at the North Pole?
Oh, sure. We have cats and dogs.
Really?
Sure, we love animals. We've had all kinds of, over the years, we've had guinea pigs and all kinds of things. All kinds of.
Isn't
little
that
critters.
interesting? Because who would ever know what goes on actually at the North Pole other than the toy making?
Well, people think it looks toy making, but you know.
Well, the elves have got to have time to play with other
They
animals. when
enjoy
they're making
playing
all
with the
other,
animals, their
other
pets.
stuff at Christmas
Yeah.
time. So. And little elves are busy guys.
That's
Oh,
right.
I
Busy
know.
people get, that calms everybody down to have
Yeah.
the pets take care of them.
That's a good
and
point.
love.
People petting animals and feeding them and taking care of them is a very therapeutic thing. They always say that if you have high blood pressure or whatever, anything almost, a pet can help you.
Yeah, and it's a sense of responsibility that basically that everybody kind of needs.
Yeah.
To have some kind of responsibility for one life. Again, it's a thin, lifelong lesson in training.
So you're not focusing on yourself.
Correct.
Oh my goodness, here comes a really cute little kitten. Who's this?
You wanted the smallest kitty.
Yeah, here's
One of the
smallest.
smallest ones.
Oh,
That's Pop.
Pop? All right, well, we just brought in the smallest kitten.
Smallest kid,
In the world.
Scott found one in the back there.
So look at this one. This is Pop. I think that's what they said.
Oz?
Pop, I bet.
Pop, like Pop goes the weasel?
I guess. I don't know, but
Snap, crackle, pop.
oh, snap, crackle.
Pop.
Well,
It's a
where's
Rice
snap
Krispie
and
guy.
crackle?
They're back there.
Oh. Well, anyway, this gives me a good place to talk about kittens because I've had so many experiences with myself and other people getting a small kitten, even bigger than this. They take them home, they set them down on the floor, and go, oh, here you go, here you go. And then they run behind the refrigerator, or they go under someplace they don't fit, and they hide because they're terrified, because they came from a small cage into a house. And we always suggest to people, please don't bring in a cat to your house and just set it down on the floor. Always let it integrate from a small area to a bigger area.
So are you suggesting like bring in like a kennel, a small carrier?
Yep.
Carrier?
Or a bathroom. Just don't let them loose because I had a friend who brought 2 kittens home. They were sisters. One of them went behind the refrigerator and died. I don't know if it bit the cord, but it was really sad. And she just didn't know, so I went to her. So anyway.
Lessons to be learned.
And people don't know that. They don't think about it. So this is a really small one, but even an adult would be really stressed out to hit a house that it hasn't been in and just have the run of the house when it's used to it. So you start small and just move to bigger.
Yeah.
So you helped us tell a story.
Oh, look.
You
Sweet this kitten.
So cute. Yeah. I'm still the cat lady. Come on.
Oh, well.
You want to go with me? There, maybe you could face the camera for 2 seconds. Look at the little white paws. He likes you. He likes you.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I could take the trip up to the North Pole.
Oh, the cat that roared.
You want to go to the North Pole?
We'll hand that one back. But again, we also want to start talking a little bit about getting our pets ready for the cold season.
Oh, yes.
You know, and to make sure that they have a nice warm bed, a place where they can stay. I know that the shelter is offering bags of straw again. So if you don't feed the reindeer, you can give a bed to the dogs and the cat.
We do that in all into this almost the spring. I think we cut that off maybe in February or March. So
I imagine even the biggest or the most outdoor adapted animals will have trouble with cold winter.
Yeah.
And something freezing temperature.
well, you're probably used to putting a lot of straw bedding out
Oh,
for
yes.
the reindeer.
We have nice warm barns for them.
They
They have
don't
a nice
have-
comfy place.
Well, you know, it's the important thing is that we are going to get the foul weather. Wind is another thing. The chill factor with the wind, you know, that can really affect your pet's health. That be outside. So again, you want to think about that. Another good thing is water bowls. You know, we talk about this at winter time. The water freezes at night, folks. So it's a good idea to empty it out. You know, leave it empty overnight. They don't need to have the water overnight, and then you fill it in the morning. They also make heaters for the water bowls now, little electric heaters.
I know, I've seen that.
You put them in the bowl, and they keep the water from freezing. You know, that's another idea. The other thing that we always like to stress is putting a water bowl like in an inner tube, in an area to where it can't get tipped over.
Right, we talk about that in the summer. Because Sherwood and I do this show once a month. You may not know that,
Well, he's
but
from the north.
you know, you might not see it on the table.
I didn't get it on my TV.
No, we haven't hit PBS yet, but we do the show every month, and so in the summer, we talk a lot about water and tipping over, you know, because my dogs stand in their water bowls. So we like to let people know there are ways
Or
to.
playing and all kinds of things. But again, water is, you know, and they need the water to stay hydrated, just like people do. So again, you know, it's a common thing in the wintertime that we really need to watch those water bowls. You know, or put them, you know, like I say, I don't even know if you put them under protect area to keep them from freezing. It probably
No,
would freeze under
things
there,
still
yeah.
freeze. But the bigger the bowl, the deeper the bowl, then, you know, you've got a lot better chance.
Yeah.
But, so, I bet you probably have some water troughs for your
Well,
reindeer.
it gets cold enough, everything freezes.
Yeah.
It's the North Pole.
It's the North
the
Pole.
North Pole.
I don't even
It
know.
is cold up there.
What about in the summer in the North Pole?
Oh, it's very nice up in the
Is it?
summertime. Yes. You get the all day sun, 24-hour sun.
How about that either?
You can play all day.
We're just not, you know, we have not interviewed Santa before. This is a very big deal for us to have
Yeah,
you here. I don't think you even know what a big deal
Well,
it is.
I appreciate being here.
We just think that, you know, we could put some information out about you and your animals too, and then people will listen even more than they will.
Yeah, and the message is that Santa has to take care of his animals just like the people here in Silver City.
Well, Santa believes in the, you know, loving all living creatures. So,
Yes.
you know, I believe in it. So I always try to treat my animals. I have animals, like I said, we have them to keep us company too.
Yeah, yeah.
Even Santa has his puppies that keeps them entertained.
Entertained, there you
And
go.
actually,
Yeah, well, and I am just excited to know that you do have other animals besides reindeer. You've got dogs and cats and just different, things. Like, I have lizards at my house in the summer that are sort of like pets. I mean, they don't come in my house, but they're named. I feed them bugs.
okay.
And I just wait for them to come back in April.
You serving buffet?
Nope, they just get bugs. They don't get anything else.
I can see them in the kitchen making little
Bug-
parfait bugs,
There you go.
little lettuce salads,
I never really liked bugs until I knew
fresh
that
vegetables.
the lizards love the bugs, so it's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
okay,
well,
I
that's
guess
that's why they're there.
I'll pick up a cricket now, which I never did before. But
Oh, Jiminy.
well, I don't get a Jiminy. Usually it's a cricket that's dead. Anyway, so and I'm trying to think of what else we could talk about. Now, when you talk to all the kids, how they sit on your lap, or maybe they're afraid of you. I don't really know.
Some are, some get, because they're a big guy with a bushy beard
Yeah,
and
that they've
whoa,
never-
whoa, whoa,
they've
you know.
never seen
Other,
before.
well, most kids,
Yeah.
never, a lot of times they haven't seen Santa before.
So they
Sometimes kids are waving, hey, Santa, yay.
Do you think the parents should do a little prep on the kids for the first time?
For the first, oh, sure, like most parents do, they try to, they want to, the kids to get into the Santa Claus and what he's about and such, and I really appreciate that, because
Yes, I bet you
there's
do.
far more than Santa Claus than presents. And
Yeah.
so that's the important thing to learn, the
Well-
real story behind Santa Claus.
Like, we just did FaceTime with my grandchildren who live in Boston, and Dylan was older. He was happy to see Santa, but Lily went and hid.
Well, again, it's
Missed her chance.
well, sometimes they're just shy.
She was.
Yeah, so
She hid from you, so she didn't get to tell you what she wants, but I'm thinking there's probably,
Tell her, write Santa a letter.
I think
That's
they
right,
already
kids,
did.
you can write Santa Claus at the North Pole.
Yes.
Yep.
The post office will deliver.
They do, and they're
Absolutely.
good about that, aren't they?
Get lots and lots of mail.
I bet, especially this month. I'll bet it's pouring.
Oh, yeah, well, it gets heavier this time of year. Yes.
Have you had any,
And
like,
you get a son that says, well, no, I didn't really do that.
I love that. I've been good all year.
I've been good all year. That's a good,
That's what I
a main
told
one, yes.
Sherwood couldn't say he's been good all year. 'Cause
No?
you missed the last two shows. I
Why
had
can't
to
I
film
say
by
it?
myself.
No.
You're in a lot of trouble. Well, have you had any interesting letters?
Oh, I don't know, sometimes they're very interesting, sometimes they're kind of sad, because there's a lot of children in this world who don't have, the wherewithal. We try to make sure we get presents out to everybody, and I see all the people out there helping Santa Claus get presents out to people.
Isn't that nice?
And I think
that
that's
you get help?
fantastic, yes. There's people that have a spirit.
And I know a lot of the churches in our area help on that way too, where they try and get the kids some Christmas boxes.
Well, sure, there are always interesting ways they do it, with,
Churches teach the story, so
Yeah.
that's why it's important they do it, but there's many people who may not even be affiliated with any churches, they still have the giving spirit.
Right.
And I really appreciate all of them, so.
yeah,
Yeah.
I bet you do appreciate all that.
So it's really great because, well, there's many, we have many children that sometimes, like I said, don't have the, we don't know about them, I guess is the
Right.
best way to say it.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
It is sad.
We don't want children to fall through the cracks.
Well, there are Santa's helpers too that even wear outfits like yours, and they're your helpers.
Oh, absolutely.
And kids know that. I mean, I don't know that they think that you are everywhere all the time, but they do know you have helpers that dress.
Well, there are helpers, and I do appreciate all of them because they do give. Like I said, I can't be everywhere. You're quite right.
Right. You're magical, but,
Well, actually, I could be everywhere, but you wouldn't see me.
well, I think
I think he's
maybe,
got that magic dust.
yeah, well, yes, there is magic dust. My grandchildren had some magic dust for your reindeer.
I think you had magic dust back in the 60s.
No, I didn't. I think you did.
Well, they say listen for the Santa bells.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
I have
Them
the
bells.
bells. Listen
See
to
the bells, it's
It's
toll.
always a good one.
So when you show up, you see the Santa dust that the kids put out, and it
Oh, I
sparkles.
always appreciate
It
it.
sparkles in the
My
snow.
reindeer was that.
Yeah, yes. So I know there's a reason for that Santa dust that the kids make. So I always wondered if you appreciated that.
Oh, sure,
So-
because it shows the children have that, they're in with our giving mood and things, so that's great. And that's what I like to see, because it's the idea of this, Christmas is giving and loving, really.
That's right, giving to others.
Sharing, giving, and loving. Speaking of that, we're going to take a little break because we've got somebody walking in with a dog, so we'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back, and we are almost done. We have about 10 minutes, I think, and Santa wanted to say something about...
Well, I just wanted to, you folks are good sources of advice on selecting a new a pet that's appropriate for your family, and and how to care for them and such. But how do you go about that? What would you recommend?
Well, Carrie, at Christmas time, we always stress that you watch the Christmas trees around pets. Because, they'll get up and play with the tinsels and the little balls. They'll eat the tinsel, which isn't good for them.
No.
The lights are hot, and they could burn their tongues or something trying to land on them. Or the cats like to climb the tree.
Yep.
Swat all the stuff around, which isn't really good.
And knock the tree down.
And knock the tree down. The dogs will drink the water in the Christmas tree. Not good. The candy canes that people want to put on the tree, a little candy, not good for the dogs. Poinsettias, another one to have around the house that, basically they're hazardous to your pet.
Lilies. We always talk about that. Easter lilies, and they are also called like a Christmas lily, and there are many flowers and bulbs and growing things. Holly, also bad.
What's around a lot on Christmas is chocolates.
That's another one.
That is not a good one for animals, I understand.
Fruit cake, not good, because raisins and all that fruit, really bad for dogs.
Yeah, it's their digestive system, just can't handle that type of food. And then, last thing you want is go visit the vet around Christmas time.
No,
I understand even turkey, too much turkey and stuff for
You're right.
that can make a mess up a dog or a cat.
Well, yeah, we get into that part too, and we've had that with the vets, is the table scraps. I mean, I think that's pretty common. It isn't really good for your pets.
It's too rich.
But we tend to do that to pets, especially when there's big dinners around and your pets are around the table.
Yeah.
So, we ask that you watch that. I won't say don't do it, but, watch what you maybe give
Think
your
about
pet.
what you're doing, and think about what you're leaving on the tables and leaving on the floors and wrapping in a package and letting the dog stay in the living room.
Right, I've had that happen where I've had a small dog and he's jumped on the chair onto the dining room table to get whatever he could get.
Sure.
And,
They can even choke if they're trying to,
You didn't mention another one, somebody told me cheese is not good for boobs.
Right,
especially
yeah.
in a big chunk.
Well, it's like a dairy product. It's like giving them too much milk. It basically goes in your stomach.
Well, and every year, it seems like every year we've done this show with a vet. A lot of times I'm
Right.
talking to the vet. You're way more fun than the vet. But the vet always has, Dr. Brown
That's better
especially
dressed.
has such, way better dressed than, Dr. Brown is very helpful, but he's not as well dressed as you. But he always has stories that I just cannot believe, especially Christmas. Bad stories about how he has to go to work and deal with a dog that's wolfed down a knife or,
Yeah, and again, it goes back to like watching your household around this time because we've got so many, like friends, relatives coming by. We've got so many, condiments out, to where it all,
The candy out there.
and it's kind of chaotic too.
Well, we're not paying attention. And I mean, I think every year I tell the same story about someone gave my dog one of those huge bones, this big, a real bone. Well, we had company. So I gave it to him to keep him quiet. Well, he buried it in a houseplant. So we had this 2-foot tall bone buried straight up in the houseplant, dirt everywhere, and my dog didn't eat any of it.
Actually, you had a very aggressive dog.
It was pretty funny. He was really, really busy. He had 20 minutes of unbothered time. I mean, he had that thing, if you could believe, buried straight up in the middle. And so I took it away because I thought, I don't need this. But, we're all extremely busy at the holidays.
And the other thing is traveling with your pets. At the holiday.
That's a good one.
If you're going to do that, make sure you get a good crate for them. Like the carry-alls that all the stores sell. Make sure they have like a little water bowl inside.
a blanket that's
Right.
theirs really helps to calm them, because they get that scent, and they know that it's a common thing, and they know it's their safe place, you know, when they travel. Also, again, if you take it into somebody's house, you take the whole box with you,
Yeah.
and you can set it down.
They can go
till-
in it.
And they can go in it, or they're in it, and you know, they're not, you know, the little children tend to stick their fingers in everywhere, you
Yeah.
know.
Sure.
So that helps that situation, because again, the dog will maybe nip, you know,
Oh, yeah.
or because he's not sure of what's around him. Also, another thing that we do see around this time is dog bites from people getting too close to the dog while he was eating.
Sure.
You know, and that's like a
Little
big,
kids.
big no-no, is to approach any animal, probably even the cats too, that if they're eating, you know, you know, leave them alone. Let them have their,
And, you know, feed them away from the crowd.
Yeah, right,
Put
good
their
idea.
litter box, you know, in a room that's not, you know, full of people, and put their food somewhere else, so they can have
Well,
their,
that's one thing I found, when
Peace
you
and
talk
quiet.
about your kennels or your boxes.
Mhm.
I call kennels.
Right.
My dogs, every dog had its kennel,
yeah,
because that was his or her safe place. So,
True.
So they would get used to it, and I've been telling them, go to the kennel, they go again, except one dog, she had been abused, so she didn't go.
Right, and then
Didn't want to
again,
be caged.
also, again, you know, we give the dogs treats, a little biscuits or whatever. Supervise your children, because a lot of times the dogs will lunge, you know, and sometimes the child isn't quite ready for it and pull back, and that's when we get a lot of bites, because you know, the dog is.
well,
got
they
too far
snap
and they get
too,
hooked,
they
right.
snap, my dogs even snap, even though they're trained not to.
Yeah, one other bad thing about that, kids tend to overfeed them.
Right, that's,
And they
again,
make your dog sick.
right, and I've seen that too, where they kept feeding him, and then the dog, you know, basically got over aggressive because he wanted more of the
Right.
dog,
Okay.
and he actually went after the child's hand,
Yeah.
because he was just holding it, but, you know, he was thinking, treat.
Mhm.
So again, you know, this is things to watch around this time
There's
of
a
year.
lot, and we say it every year, but we're usually not fortunate enough to have Santa to add to it, but Santa's gotta get going.
All my years, I've had a lot of animals, so it's.
You are a
I've
very
had my
good
problems
source.
with them, too,
You're a good source.
Right.
Well, Santa, we always wind up our show with Sherwood telling at least one joke. And
Okay.
it wouldn't
Okay.
be,
Are you ready?
we're ready.
All right. Why does Santa go down the chimney at Christmas time?
I would think it's hard to go up.
No, because it suits him.
Oh, that's funny. That's
Oh,
funny.
we have to laugh,
I know,
because
I like
Sherwood gets his feelings hurt.
He thought it was funny.
Oh, do you have
I
another
thought it
one?
was funny,
You have another
sure.
joke?
Tell them your rebel joke.
Oh, what what do you call a child that doesn't like Santa Claus?
What do you call a child who plays my Santa Claus?
A rebel without a clause.
Oh,
Hey,
figure that
Sherwood.
out. A groan.
Well, again, thank you for spending.
Thank you, Santa, for
Thank
coming
you for
by.
having me, guys.
And I hope your travels are fun and
Oh,
swift.
and safe.
And safe.
Well, safety is most important.
Paramount.
Yes, it is fun to travel and see all the
Yeah.
different countries and different people. It's,
Oh,
all the
One
boys
other
and
thing
girls
before we
and
go,
fun.
and we talk about traveling, do not leave your pets in the cars. Do not leave them in the visit.
Even in the cold
You know,
weather.
Even in the cold weather, even though
Yeah.
you might have a count, do not leave them in a vehicle.
Do not. So that's it for us. This is our Christmas show. It'll probably run through New Year's. I know everybody's going to love watching it.
Right?
I'm trying to get it on YouTube, so you guys pay attention.
Write your congressman.
Yeah.
And ho, ho, ho.
Oh,
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas, folks.
Christmas. Bye.